You need 2 quantities of white thread and 2 quantities of red thread, pair of scissors, a hook, a needle, something to measure the flap with. Make the tip of the sneaker by using both threads. Take them between your fingers, go round your fingers and then a bit cross. Take the ones further behind under the ones in front. Then take thread, make a loop through this one here and another loop there. And now you make 5 loops around this circle. Make them so that you take the loop through here and another one through both of them, and the next one and through both of them. Make 5 of these all together. That was 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take the loose ends and tighten this from here. After that, you turn this, make 1 loop here, and then start to go back from the first loophole you can see there. And make 6 lower ones on this side. Turn this again, make 1 loop, and start from the first hole you can see there. Take a loop and another one, and then you make just 1 more to the next hole, and after that you start making 2 low ones in 1 loophole. 1, 2, and then you turn, make 1 loop, and now you don't start making the lower ones from the next hole. You skip over it and you go here, and first you make 1 lower loop in each, and that you repeat 3 times, and after that you start making 2 lower loops in each hole. And the last one you just make 1. Then you turn again, make 1 loop, and don't start from the first one, start from the second one. And first we make 6 lower loops so that there is just 1 in each loophole. And after that we make 1 higher one so that you take the thread around your hook, take a loop through here, then through the first 2 and the last 2. Then we make 2 higher ones in the second hole, and 1 here. So you make 2 higher ones in every other one. The last 2 holes you just make 1 each. And the last one just 1. Then turn again, make 1 loop, skip the first one and start making 6 lower loops so that they each will be in their own loop hole. 4, 5, and 6. And then after that you make 2 lower loops in every other loop hole and 1 in every other. Then turn, make 1 extra loop, skip the first one, and then make 9 lower loops, and each in their own loop holes. And then 2 lower loops in every other one and 1 in every other one. And the last 2 holes you can make just 1 lower loop in each. And now you just make 1 loop here, and you start going this way, and you should make 12 loops on this side. There are no certain places where to make them, but just make them even. And make lower loops. Turn, make 1 loop, and don't start from the first one, but start from the second one, and again lower loops and 12. After that you turn, and you don't make another loop. Instead you take the other color, use the threads together, and continue from this loop here. Tighten these and make an extra loop, and then don't start from the first one, start from the second one, and lower loops. Turn and make an extra loop, and not starting from the first one but from the second one. Tie these together and cut the white one. Make a loop here, and then not from the first one but from the second one, a lower loop. And these you will continue so that the red part is about 7 inches long. You start making these corners a bit more round. That you can do so that you don't make 1 extra loop here. Instead you skip 1 and you take from the next one and take it straight through the one on your hook. 2 times. Then make lower loops. Until you have 3 loop holes left. Now you do the same thing again. Take a loop straight through the one on your hook, loop through, straight through the one on your hook, and 1 more. Then turn, and here you do the same thing. Skip 1 and through the second one, loop straight through, loop straight through, and then you make lower loops. And here, when you have 4 loopholes left, you start doing the same thing. You take a loop straight through, loop, straight through, skip one, and from here, loop and straight through. Now you can make this a bit bigger and just cut it. Now you just finish these. And you finish them the same way you did earlier. This is the center hole. If it's big, you can always pull from here and make it tighter. And then you just go to the next one. And here you make a knot. And then you hide these ends here. And that way you finish these. Now you should sew the tip part to your sneaker. When you sew, it's easier to keep this tip part in place if you just connect these corners where the red and white connect. You can also use needle for this there, and then you can make a little knot here. You can cut it off later. Take some white thread, and before you start sewing, hide some thread here and make one knot so that it will stay there better. And then I go back here. Then connect both parts so that the red starts from the same spot. And when you sew this together, do it so that you take from here, you take the outer part, and from here you take the inner. And now you can take away this and just continue to where the white and red parts connect. And then you go in from here, and inside you make a knot. And then you just hide this.